Hello everyone and welcome back to Turn Off Turn On Ventures. My name is Jia Hong and I'm the pedaling investor. I'm here today in Budapest, Hungary with Kiri Hunor.
Hi everyone.
Hunor is from Refilamer and they are actually doing something really interesting in the space of 3D printing and circular economy, combining the two. I've had some really interesting conversations with him both on the product, the market, and also his next fundraising round. And we just wanted to share a bit more about what they do. So Hunor, what exactly does Refilamer do?
Yeah, thanks for the question. The Refilamer is developing hardwares and softwares also in consumer, also in business environments that can upcycle plastic waste into 3D printing raw material. What does it exactly mean? For example, our first consumer machine, the Model 1, the naming is from the Tesla, not so creatively, but the Model 1 can upcycle PET bottles into filament, so you can recycle your own plastic waste into 3D printing raw material.
Mm-hmm. And what is the potential of this upcycling of PET bottles? So we're talking about, Coke bottles and Pepsi bottles and mineral water bottles, right? Where is your machine Model 1 now at in terms of the speed it takes to recycle? And in future, what kind of speed do you think you can get to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now it costs about 6-8 minutes to recycle a full PET bottle. We think that we can take it maybe under 3 minutes, and you will need about 20-25 bottles to create 1 kilogram filament spool, which is the standard storage boat size of the filament. Of course, it's not necessary, but this is the standard. And the limitations, you can upcycle any type of PET bottles, also Coke, also mineral water. Also, for example, once I recycled, cleaning gel from the washing machine.
Okay.
It has also the same form like the PET bottle, and I could also recycle this one. Okay. But I think that was not from PET, if I remember correctly. That was from polypropylene.
Okay, and that also works in your Model 1?
Yes.
Great. Tell me more a bit about this whole hobbyist 3D printing space. This is the B2B side of your B2C side of your business. Mm-hmm. What's so interesting about hobby 3D printing, and why do you think people will want to recycle their PET bottles into filament?
Mm-hmm. I think the most interesting part of the 3D printing is the creation. Mm-hmm. It's a totally new way, a totally new method, totally new technology that helps you to make it real what you imagine. For example, I mostly design mechanical parts, not only because of the work, but I'm an electrical engineer student. I really love to coding and designing new technologies. For example, smart home technologies, also a smart pill dispenser for my father. Mm-hmm. and the parts which will be necessary, for example, in the case of a pill dispenser, the storages has to be 3D printed because these are not mass produced products, but really unique products. And the 3D printing helps you to create anything what you want from plastic from only 10 or 50 cents. Mm-hmm. So for really cheap.
In our past conversations, we've actually had this idea, and you'll see now in the video that I've passed Hunor a bottle that I had, and he's going to be converting that bottle into into something special for me.
Like an identification plate on the cars, but it will be on your bike.
Yeah, and that is super exciting because I've never seen my turn off, turn on logo in 3D, in a physical form. So I'm really looking forward to that. I really like the idea that it's made from a bottle that I used to use. And hopefully this gives all of you viewers an idea of what is the journey of the product and how the owner of a Refilamer Model 1 can convert their bottles into something useful for themselves. We usually also ask a question about, is there something interesting about 3D printing that most people don't know about? That is like a fun fact about 3D printing that everyone should really know.
Okay. Fun fact. Most of the people think that because it is a new technology, they think it is expensive. But partially it's not new technology. It's more than 50 year old technology.
15 or
50
years.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. The basics of the 3D printing are from the 70s.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. And
the 70s is 50 years ago.
Yeah, and they think it's an expensive hobby, but I bought my first 3D printer, brand new 3D printer, for $100.
Oh, okay.
So it's cheaper than a simple two-dimensional office paper printer.
Yeah.
And wow, it was an excellent feeling for me,
yeah.
and I was also shocked when I saw it. That it's so cheap.
That's
oh my God.
interesting. I would not have thought that the price has gone down so much. Yeah. Okay. And in some ways, I think that encourages the fact that as the price of the printers go down and the filaments still remain high, it's a good way to get alternative filaments through your rubbish, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And also. The store-bought filaments are just not cheaper, but these are more and more expensive because of the supply chain disruptions and energy crisis. Only since the beginning of this year, maybe the prices maybe jumped 20 or 30% in the stores. And our machine can save this money for the people because you don't have to buy the expensive raw material, you don't have to pay for the long supply chain, but instead of this, locally you can upcycle your own plastic waste, and with this you can save up to 90% of the cost, and also with every kilogram plastic what you recycle, you save 6 kilogram carbon dioxide emission.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I want to ask one last question, which is maybe you can share some, your startup experience has not been, it's not easy, it's not, a smooth sailing, it's always ups and downs. Is there some experiences you can share as lessons for other startup founders?
It's a really good question.
Just one lesson.
Okay, one thing what I can say for everybody: how not to be a cliche.
It's okay if it's a cliche. It often is.
I think that even it feels that it's harder and harder because you have to more and more, and you have less and less free time. Sometimes for me it means that I do something good because I have more and more to do with the company, which means that it's just like a newborn baby. As it grows, you have to take more and more care of it, and it also keeps 10 or even 20 years until it grows up, but you will be proud when you will see back I hope. And I hope so that I will be a good father.
Well, hopefully someone special is watching this this video right now, and it's on record, so you have to live up to it now. Well, all the best, Hunor, in building out Refilamer.
Thank you very much.
Hope to see, follow you on your journey going forward.
Thank you very much. I hope we'll find a lot of times on this journey.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.